There's a moment, and almost everyone who's made real money has felt it, where you look around at the people who used to be in your corner, and you realize something has shifted. Not in the world. In them. The way they talk to you. The way they ask for things. The way they disappear. Or suddenly reappear. And what nobody prepares you for is how quiet that moment is. How strange. Because nobody throws you a warning. Nobody sends you a memo that says, hey, the moment your bank account changes, so do your relationships. It just happens. So today, we're going to walk through every level of wealth, from $0 to $50 million, and show you exactly how the people around you change at each stage. Not to make you paranoid, but because understanding this is one of the most powerful things you'll ever do for your future. Hit that subscribe button right now, because what we're about to go through is the kind of thing most people only figure out after they've already been burned. At zero, and I mean nothing in the bank, living paycheck to paycheck, maybe borrowing $20 from a friend just to fill your tank, your relationships are brutally honest. Not in a harsh way. In a real way. The people around you at this stage, they know you're broke. You know they're broke. There's no pretense. When someone buys you a coffee, it means something. When a friend shows up at your door at 2 a.m., it's because they actually like you, not because of what you can give them. There's a strange kind of loyalty that lives at the bottom. And here's what's important to understand, most people don't appreciate that loyalty until it's gone. But then something shifts. Let's say you start making money. Not a lot, maybe you got a raise, started a side hustle, landed a better job. You're now hovering somewhere around $30,000 to $40,000 a year. And you notice something almost immediately. People start asking small favors. Can you cover me this time? Hey, you're doing well now, right? It's subtle at first. So subtle you almost miss it. But it's there. The dynamic is beginning to rearrange itself around your income, and you didn't even agree to that. Here's the thing most people get wrong, they think it gets better as they make more money. They think more money means more genuine connection. But the truth is something darker and more complicated than that. Now fast forward. You're making six figures. Maybe 100,000, maybe 150. You've got a nice apartment, a newer car, you travel once or twice a year. And here's where it gets really interesting. The people who truly care about you, the ones who are genuinely happy for you, they start to separate from the ones who are just recalibrating. Because at this level, money becomes visible. People can see it. And visibility changes everything. Some friendships will deepen. The ones who root for you, who are proud of you, who still call you on a Tuesday night just to talk, those are your real ones. Keep them. Protect them. But the other group, and you'll know them by their behavior, not their words, they start showing up differently. They make comments about your lifestyle. Little jabs disguised as jokes. Oh, must be nice. Look at you now. They're not celebrating you. They're measuring themselves against you. And when they feel like they're losing that comparison, they pull away. Or worse, they start trying to bring you back down to where you were. Pause right there. Because I want you to think about your own life for a second. Is there someone in your circle right now who does exactly that? Someone who can't genuinely celebrate your wins? Drop their name in the comments. Just kidding, don't do that. But drop a 1 or a 2 if this is hitting close to home. Because what I'm about to tell you about the next level, it's going to shock you. Now you've crossed into the $200,000 to $500,000 range. You're not just successful, you're visibly successful. Maybe you own a business. Maybe your investments are compounding quietly in the background while you sleep. And this is where the social landscape begins to fracture in ways you cannot predict. Old friends start falling away, not because of anything dramatic, but because your conversations have changed. Your problems have changed. What keeps you up at night has changed. And humans, by nature, connect over shared struggle. When your struggles stop matching theirs, the connection starts to thin. But something new begins to happen at this level. New people arrive. And here's the psychological trap that swallows people whole at this stage. The new arrivals seem incredible. Polished. Ambitious. Interesting. They invite you to things. They include you. They make you feel like you've finally found your people. But some of them, not all, but some, are drawn to what you represent, not who you are. They're networking. They're proximity seeking. They want access to the version of you that can open doors. And if you can't tell the difference between genuine connection and strategic attachment, this level of wealth will isolate you in ways that feel completely invisible from the outside. Here's how you tell the difference. Real people are still there when you have nothing to offer. When you're in a bad quarter. When your business takes a hit. When you're exhausted and uncharismatic and you have absolutely nothing to give. If someone disappears the moment your value to them drops, that was never friendship. That was a transaction dressed up in warmth. Now let's talk about the level that almost no one discusses honestly. $1 to $5 million. You're wealthy, by any real definition of the word. And this is where something almost eerie begins to happen. The world starts treating you differently before you've even said a word. People assume things about your character, your politics, your values. They fill in the blanks with their own fears, their own dreams, their own resentments. Some people will put you on a pedestal that you never asked to stand on. Others will quietly resent you for having what they want. And both reactions are equally isolating. Your oldest friendships, the ones from childhood, from college, from the years when none of you had anything, become the most precious thing in your life. Not because they're perfect, but because they knew you before any of this. They remember the version of you that didn't have the car, the account, the reputation. They're one of the few anchors to who you actually are. And yet, and this is the painful part, even some of those oldest relationships won't survive this level. Because wealth isn't just a number. It's a different life. Different rhythms. Different worries. Different possibilities. And sometimes, no matter how much you love someone, you can simply grow in directions that are too far apart to bridge. That's not betrayal. That's just the quiet grief that comes with becoming someone new. But here's what nobody warns you about when you hit 10, 20, $50 million. The loneliness at the top is real. Not the lonely of sitting alone in a room. The lonely of being surrounded by people and still feeling completely unseen. Because at this level, almost everyone in your orbit has an angle. Even the ones who don't mean to. Even the ones who genuinely like you. The money creates a gravitational pull that distorts every relationship around it. People want things from you. People fear you. People idealize you. And somewhere underneath all of that, you're still just a person who wants to be understood. The ones who make it through at this level, and I mean make it through with their sanity, their joy, their authentic relationships, they did something most people skip entirely. They built their inner circle before the money came. They chose people based on character, not on chemistry with success. They stayed humble enough to remain curious about other people's lives, even when those lives looked nothing like theirs. And they learned, sometimes painfully, that loyalty is not proportional to proximity. Some of the most loyal people in your life will be the ones you see 3 times a year. And some of the ones you see every week are quietly hoping for your downfall. So here's the question this entire video has been building toward. And I want you to actually sit with this one. If the money disappeared tomorrow, if you woke up and it was all gone, who would still be there? Who would show up? Who would call? Because those people, right now, wherever you are on this financial journey, those are the only ones that actually matter. That's your real wealth. Not the number in your account. The people who'd be there if that number hit 0. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Because in a world where everyone's chasing money, very few people are talking about what the money actually does to the people around them. Now you know. And knowing this early? That's the one advantage that no amount of money can buy you.